Well, we had a band, you know, it was, we had a guy named Moose Smith, had a beard, and he was kind of country, and he had this band, and so we had music, and we had singers, and, you know, loud drums and guitars and everything. And it turned out that music divides people. Older people don't like modern contemporary music. Kids don't like older people's music, and we just had a retreat to analyze what we were doing. We'd had surveys around the nation. People had been sampling what was good and what was bad, and it turned out that the thing that struck every age group was religious testimonies, spiritual testimonies. We actually were the first one along the way to dramatize the life situations of people. What was it, Rescue 911 or whatever that show was. I mean, we were ahead of them and ahead of a number of people because we would send film crews out to get little vignettes, dramas, and we found that the testimonies of people in real life situations was what would unify the audience. We could get every age group watching. And we also discovered that news probably was of the most value in the audience we were seeking to serve than anything else we could do. So we canned the band and expanded our film crews, our remote crews, and also the news presence. So we began to go with 20 minutes of news and then about 10 or 20 minutes of testimonies, and then we would have some prayer and teaching and what have you, and that would close out an hour. And we're still following pretty much that same format. We were getting more analytical as we went along the way and getting more professional in our television approach, and it was clear that, again, that from the audience we were seeking to serve, the adult audience, that news seemed to be the thing that would bring an audience to watch us, and we would have a unique perspective on the news, and it was something that we could be successful with. I was ahead of CNN. I think, you know, our second affiliate along the way was Ted Turner down in Charlotte, and his station was going bankrupt, and we offered to buy 4 hours of time from him Monday through Friday before he signed on. He signed on 3. We said, well, we'll take your time from 11 to 3 and put our shows on, and we'll give you a part of the proceeds that we have from contributions. And so he said that's okay. And we were CBN, and he was a CBN affiliate. Later on, he sold that Charlotte station, which didn't go bankrupt through our effort, and that money, he sold it to Westinghouse, and that money he used as the funding for CNN. And I am absolutely certain that CNN was because of CBN, and that he was our first affiliate, and that stuck with him. That was a very successful venture. And later on down the road, we began to branch from, we had a station in Atlanta, and we had a station in Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Tidewater, Virginia. And so we would bicycle tapes back and forth. And if we did 4 hours here, we would ship videotapes down there and run them in our station in Atlanta, and then we would go to Atlanta and stay for a week, and then we would come back here and do programs back and forth. It was from that experience that we began to cycle shows into Charlotte, and the response in Charlotte was just tremendous. It was so exciting. And from there, it was obvious in those days, that was like in the mid-1970s, 73, 74, we were having a real downturn in the economy, and some of these UHF stations were getting ready to go dark. They were in serious trouble. So all across America, we found very willing takers for the same deal we had offered Ted Turner. So we had an affiliate in Baltimore, then one in Chicago, then one out in Tulare, Visalia, California, and then one in Houston, Texas, and then, The next thing you know, we had a network across the country bicycling tapes, the same thing that we'd worked out here, and we went into each of those markets once a year and had a live telethon for a weekend, and that's how we supported the operation. Then we went from a individual station telethon into a regional telethon. Like we'd have a West Coast telethon, and we'd tie Seattle and L.A. and San Francisco and all those, the Valley and all those stations together.